Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Sam and this is the Crafty Blinder van build. Today we're installing our 230 electrical system. Hi, today's video is about my 230, my main supply. Some people won't be bothering with this, you want to be off grid, but we wanted to be in a position where we could go on sites, we can charge the batteries up while we're at home. If we've got stuff in the fridge or if we're preparing for a weekend away, we can get everything ready. So put a hookup point on the van. Behind there we have 240 and we have a changeover switch for the inverter. We've also installed an inverter on this, you may remember. So there's our inverter, there's our batteries. I'm just I'm just adding more things to it at the minute. I put some heavy duty buzz bars on there just to protect the top of the terminals. I was conscious that somebody might drop something metallic in there and it might short out. So we've covered the terminals. Let you have a little look. We've covered all the terminals up. We've run everything into buzz bars. We're happy with that. We've even moved an isolator to here, so the system can be turned off while we're not using it. So we didn't put a lot of 240 stuff in. We have a point here. We have a point behind that as well for the battery charger. We also have one for our TV, one in the front, one in the back. And the main part is behind here. So we've got a supply to the fridge, a supply to the microwave, and we have a couple of outlets up on this part. Let me just show you that. In our kitchen. So that's us. Hope you enjoy the video. Leave some comments, and if you're enjoying what we're doing, remember, like, subscribe, share it with your friends, get the word out there. We've doubled our subscription this month. We were 78 last month and we're about 158 now, so it's clocking on. Getting quite a lot of comments and a lot of interaction, but thank you very much anyway. Hope you enjoy the video. To keep the 230 and the 12 volt systems separated, I've installed some flexible conduit underneath the van and cleated it to the chassis. These conduits carry the cable from the inverter to the changeover switch and from the fuse board back to the front two sockets. As for the internals, I ran individual conduits to each of the appliances and where I wanted my sockets. When you're bearing back your outer insulation, always leave about an inch inside the box. You want to carry that double insulation into the back of the back box. Another thing you should really consider is when you're putting 240 into this van, make sure you run an earth from your distribution board to your chassis. The last thing you want is anything in this van being under fault conditions and not having an earth to the van, because more than likely these cables will go to ground on the van chassis if there's ever a fault, or you'll put a screw through them and the screw will likely be connected to something metallic in the van, and the consequences of doing that are horrendous. So always make sure you've got a good sound earth on your van. Big bolt through the chassis, big brass bolt. When you're testing, prove that is sound, it's connected well, with very little resistance. Because this big metal box sits on rubber tyres, so it could be under fault conditions. The outside of the van could be live. As soon as you touch a bare metallic part, you could very easily end up electrocuted. So in the van, there's got to be a very, very limited number of 240 outlets, and I'll be honest with you, I can't even see the possibility when we'll use them, and it can only be when we're on site. Say we go to site and we want to park up for a little while, a couple of weeks, a week or so, you know, we find somewhere we like, and if we're paying for service pitch, we want to use what we're paying for, I would say. so we can switch all the appliances across. The hot water can go straight across onto electric, the fridge can go straight onto the electric supply, the microwave will be on it. As I said before, I'm going to have the 240 socket up the front in the cab area. What was that? So I'll have a 240 socket up in the cab. Well, not in the cab, but adjacent to the inverter. I'll probably put 2 outlets there. One will be for the inverter. No, it won't. One will be there for the battery charger, if we decide to put a battery charger on. Or I might just carry a battery charger with us, and if we're on a site, plug it in then. There's no need to keep it connected to the system. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We've got the solar. We've got the option. Oh, we've got the smart charger. I hate it when it makes that noise. What it's actually doing is pulling this forward, and every now and then they'll click. It sounds like you're going too far with the screws, but that's sound now. The box won't move. So these are the original panels. You're never going to see them, so I basically left them in. Not to save cost, I just didn't see the point in putting brand new panels in when you don't need them. So, polarity, live, L, neutral. Be very conscious of this, because myself, I even make mistakes sometimes. You get distracted, whatever, you put it in the wrong hole, you tighten it up, but when you're doing your checks, this would highlight. So when we're doing all our testing, it highlights if you put something in the wrong way around. That's why we never energize the system before we test it. There you go, that's the click I was waiting for. Just make sure it's not gone loose now. Right, that's them done. After a lot of deliberation, this is where we decided we were going to mount our TV. The front seat spin round and they'll be pointing in that direction. Also got the bench seat there for our son. He'll probably end up lying on that. But on the days where we want to watch telly and be inside, this will be the best location. And also, we can pivot the TV around and watch it from outside whenever we decide to. This is an angle box that accepts CBE accessories, so we're going to need a few for the TV, and this was one of the best solutions I could find. Let's show you what we've got here. So, I've got the LED lights coming in here. This is a 12-volt supply, which I'm going to split. So this is directly back from the fuse board over there. So I'm going to split this, have this connected into it, the lights via a switch. This is the 12 volt. Also need to get an aerial cable here, which is something I need to have a look at. Currently I don't have any space to get one across, but I will find a way of getting one across from where I've got the antenna coming in. So again, we've got a 240 here. This is just a quick make off and we'll go from there. So L there for live, N there for neutral, and there's your earth. So that's it connected up. It's upside down. And we just do that. There you go. So we can work that up inside. Obviously, we need to put that through the frame. I'm just wondering if it'll actually go through there. But I'll give that a check now, or it might have to all come back off. So let's show you what we've been doing. This is the back of the socket. I need to put a couple of caps on these, 2 screws that are sticking through. This is a daisy chain socket. This is going to be for the battery charger. Probably going to mount it round about there. We'll just feed that back in there a little bit. Yeah. We'll silicone that up onto there. That will allow us to plug the charger in. So this cable here, this is a supply from the fuse board. So when we're connected to mains power, this will feed this socket here and this battery charger. This socket here is for the battery charger. So while we're on campsites and at home, we can hook up and keep these batteries tip-topped and maintained. After installing all the socket outlets and the devices that we wanted to power, it's then time to start looking at the fuse board. So firstly, I'll remove all the internal parts, get the pieces ready that I need to add to this bit of a jigsaw, in all honesty, and then just set it all out and make sure it fits. What I'm trying to do today is join these 2 pieces up. So this is 25mm bush couplet. What we're going to do is make sure that we've got enough space on the side of here. We'll drill that. Once we've drilled that, we'll then drill into the top of the fuse board. So around the inside of there. So that's about the middle. Oh. Again, step cutter. Thing with a step cutter, you should do, check your progress as you go along. So we know we've got a good couple of mils to go yet. The other thing, however, most step cutters will have numbers on them as well. So we're nearly there. That's it, I think. There you go. Once you get it started, you can use your coupler just to pull it through. There you go. That's it. Yeah, that's worked out really well. Let's show you how these clips work. So slide this piece over here. So you've got the threaded part there and you've got like the collar side there. So slide that back there, then offer it up and push it all the way home. Then it's just a matter of tightening up the collar. There, give it a good pull, that will not come out. So that's that end done. Now, let's feed this up in here. Again, take the cord off its bottom edge. slide it up. And just push it all the way home and take the collar back up. That's that. So all we need to do now is cleat that in place. So these are sliding cleats. These are good for different size cables. So they're designed for armour cables, but I use them to secure flexible conduit back as well. So round about there should do it. So it is still a little bit cold in the van, so it may take a little time to take the shape that you want it to. Once it's got warm and cooled down a couple of times, it will hold its shape. I might have just been a bit too fussy there. Yeah, we'll try that. That's it. Definitely staying there. To move your leg. Right. So again, I'm going to do the same thing with this cable. This one's already in place. That's them three done. We dressed the cables off in the distribution board in the same way as we did in the sockets. We remove the excess but leave an inch within the box still, and this will protect the cable against movements from the vehicle and the cable rubbing up against the side of the collar of the conduit. We also leave quite a bit of length on these cables because I'm going to have to run them round to the neutral bar and to the earth terminal and the live terminal. Once the cables are dressed off, the fuse is fitted, it's then just a matter of checking all the connections, make sure everything's tight and nothing's going to come loose. So right, let's check for continuity. This is before we connect it up to anything. Let's just find something local. There's a bolt there on the door hinge. That's good. Let's check. See, we've already got paths back to our bonding anyway, which is good. That's how it should be. So I'm happy that we have tested at multiple points now. I'm quite happy that we've got a good earth bond on the van now. So final check, we know that it's what it's going to do, but we've got continuity there. We've got physical continuity, We proved it beforehand, so I'm happy that this vehicle is now earthed. Well, the chassis of this vehicle is now earthed back to the supply coming in. Right, so make sure your seal's in before you offer this up. That's good. Now, will this screwdriver go all the way in? Nope. Will this screwdriver go all the way in? Nope. Right, let's get a screwdriver that will. Okay, we're at the stage now where you need to get the professionals involved. Now, I've done all the installation work. I'm an electrician myself, so I can test my own work. But if you've done the installation work yourself and you've felt confident enough to do that, you'll still need someone to test it. Unless you're in the industry, you won't be testing your own stuff. So the piece of kit costs anywhere from £1,200 up to £1,700, £2.5 grand, whatever you want to buy. So I use a multifunction tester made by Mega, and it's a £1,700 piece of kit. So there's not many people who'll have one of them in their back pocket. So we're at the stage where we need to start filling in the test certificate. I'm just producing this test certificate for my own peace of mind. My insurance company might want to see it. Habitation, if I'm getting a habitation cert, they might need to see it. So the tests are basically, I've got 5 radial circuits in my van. So the test that we're going to do, bang my hand, I don't know why I do that. The tests I'm going to do are, I'm going to test the CPC for its continuity. Basically that's to make sure that it goes to every point in the vehicle and every final circuit has a CPC. Then we'll do the insulation resistance. This is to check the integrity of the insulation on the cable and the insulation between live, neutral and earth. We don't want any of them to have a problem now. This is the install stage. We've still got an opportunity to pull it out and put a new cable in if it's damaged. Then we'll do the polarity check. So we need to make sure every plug top outlet, we have correct polarity. Now through the video you'll see me stopping and checking. Now I'm not I'm not making out that people are idiots. I'm doing that for myself because I make mistakes as well. Just like every other electrician out there, we all make mistakes, but we pick them up as we test. It's a little bit embarrassing if you don't pick it up and somebody else picks it up. And that's happened in the past, but it should never happen. We do these checks and tests to make sure that doesn't happen. So check the polarity, so what comes out the right holes. Then we go to our live testing where we check the impedance on the cable. So that basically on the cable, on the circuit. So that basically gives us confidence that the breaker will operate in the designated time that it's allowed to operate in. So if you get a short live to earth, it operates safely and effectively within the times that it's allowed to. RCD testing, similar thing again, that monitors an imbalance between neutral and earth and neutral. So it monitors that circuit, and if it sees a fluctuation in that circuit, it operates the RCD and knocks everything off. So we need to make sure that that works in the times that it's meant to, less than 30 milliseconds. And then the last test is a functional test, where we press the button on the RCD test, we operate any test points that we have in the vehicle. So mainly we've got one, and that's our RCD test point. So we'll operate that during the test, and every time I hook up and plug into main supply, I always operate that first. I select my source of power, inverter or mains, and I operate the RCD before I turn any circuits on. That gives me the confidence that when I'm turning them on, if there's a fault, the RCD will operate. And that's the end of the tests. Again, it's all to reaffirm that you've done it safely. It's all to confirm that every part of your installation is as safe as it possibly can be, and that's the end goal in all of this testing, to make sure it's fit for purpose and safe to use. When you're out and about on the site, I would be just as vigilant. If you pull up at a point on a site and you go to plug in and you're not happy with the outlet, or it's been damaged, or someone's reversed over it, or something's missing, or it's broke, or the cover's gone, just go and have a crack with the wardens on the site and explain to them what your problems are. Take a photo. If it's a serious problem, take a photo, go down to the reception, show them it, just say, look, it's been reversed over, can you get somebody to check it out? This is missing from it, it needs replaced. If you've got any doubt, don't plug it in. Okay, quick description of what you see here. This is where my 240 plugs into the exterior of the vehicle. This is my changeover switch, so I've got 230 and 0.2, an inverter at 0.1. There's also a neutral position where there's nothing, it's not connected to any part of the system, and that's where we run when we're running on 12 volts. So I bought the switch and I added in a 12 volt neon green light, so when we plug up when we pull up and plug in, we definitely know that we've got power to this point, so we're not running around like headless chickens if there's no power. Next point is this: always check your RCD work before you go any further. So for me, I bought this little box off eBay or Amazon, one of them. I'll put the description in the I'll put the link in the description for that board. I'll put the light over that. But I wasn't happy with the breakers that come with it, so I changed them all out for Wilex. I like the little unit, it's fantastic, but just wasn't happy with the fuses. They just didn't look right. That's how I install my 230 electrical system. I've purposely stayed away from the actual testing. I didn't want to show you that because I don't want to encourage anyone who's not competent in electrical work to try and undertake something that takes years to understand. You know, if you're unsure about anything, let the professionals do it. Get them involved. It isn't as simple as you think. You know, there is a lot of science in it, and there's a lot of reasons behind why we do these tests. I've tried to explain the tests in layman's terms as briefly as I could, as quickly as I could, but these tests should be undertaken by a professional. You are putting some of the most valuable people in your life in this vehicle, and you don't want to hurt them. I know I don't want to hurt my family, and I don't want to hurt anybody that's coming near my vehicle by making it just a big electrified box, you know what I mean? It's one of them. We go through these tests and steps to make everything safe, to operate safely. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what we're doing, please click like and subscribe, hit the bell for the notifications, and share us with your friends. Our community, this little channel, is growing from strength to strength. On a daily basis there's new subscribers. I'm a little bit blown away by how it's performing at the minute. A month ago we had, I think it was 78 subscribers, and now we're up to 158 when I checked this morning, and that's less than 28 days. So thank you, and I really do appreciate the subscribers and the comments and the views, but it'd be nice to have a few more. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again. Oh yeah, next time, inverter and floating earths. My head's blown by floating earths, but that's for the next video. See you later, take care, and enjoy the sunshine.